Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to Diz Connected, an unofficial Disney podcast of magical proportions. I'm Whit Laxon, your Disney enthusiast host, and coming up...
They announced that JJ is going to be replacing him, which is kind of a fun surprise. I have to say, I was really not expecting that.
He launched a new era in the Star Wars saga, and now he's returning to a galaxy far, far away. They're calling it Club Mickey Mouse this time. Plus, come along and sing a song and join the jamboree with the new class of Mouseketeers. Hey guys, what's up? It's Whit back for another episode of Diz Connected, and joining me as always via Skype is my friend and fellow Disney enthusiast, Katie Carter. Hey Katie.
Hey Whit.
Hello. So Katie, we've got lots of Disney news topics to tackle today, including this whole new Mickey Mouse Club thing on social media that's actually called Club Mickey Mouse.
Right.
And we're also going to discuss the list of possible names for Disney's Hollywood Studios. So the new name for that, can't wait to discuss. Of course, I also want to touch on Hurricane Irma as well in just a bit and its impact on the Central Florida area. But let's start on a lighter note today with some Star Wars news we learned this past week. And do you know what news I'm talking about, Katie?
Well, I would assume that you were talking about the new writer and director that has been assigned to Star Wars Episode 9.
I am.
That new director is J.J. Abrams, who, of course, wrote and directed Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what happened is not too long before they announced that, the original writer and director was going to be Colin Trevorrow, who most people probably recognize from Jurassic World. He directed that. He was let go of the project. Not really sure why.
Creative differences.
We'll say that. But so they announced that JJ is going to be replacing him, which is kind of a fun surprise. I have to say, I was really not expecting that at all.
Well, I mean, I thought about texting you when it first was announced, and I was like, no, she's seeing this. But then I didn't see you tweet about it till several hours later, so you must have been working.
I was at work at something or driving or something, but yeah, I saw them. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I'm excited about it. I know there are people out there who, of course, were not fans of Force Awakens, and they're probably not thrilled, but I loved it. So, and of course, with Rian Johnson doing Episode 8, he'll probably take it in a different direction from what JJ initially did, and then JJ can kind of go off of that. I know a lot of people are concerned with him, making like exact duplicates of the original trilogy, but no, I'm excited.
I personally loved The Force Awakens too, and that's obviously the only film we've seen in this new era. So at this point, how could I not be excited about J.J. Abrams?
Yeah, I mean, it does, I feel much more confident in J.J. than I did in Colin, just because anything that I've seen from like Jurassic World, for example, it's kind of just, a generic, average blockbuster. So I was kind of apprehensive about him taking it on.
But what about the pattern here with the franchise and directors leaving?
A couple months ago, I guess it was, the original writers and directors of the Han Solo movie were let go, and they were well into filming that. And they were, of course, replaced with Ron Howard. But, and I think early on with some of the other movies, they changed hands a bit. So it sounds to me like, maybe the producers are, they really want to have control over it and maybe not let the directors have as much freedom as they'd like, or we'd like to think that they do. It's definitely a weird pattern, but I mean, Star Wars is such a lucrative and important franchise for them that I guess they really can't take any chances with it.
They seem pretty confident in J.J. Abrams after The Force Awakens, and he was not involved with Episode 8, though, which will be out this Christmas. He's going to be back for Episode 9, writing, directing, and let's talk a little bit about the release date being pushed as well, because it was set for May 2019. It's now going to be December 20th, 2019. And that doesn't bother me at all because I've gotten used to Star Wars movies coming out at Christmas every year.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I kind of like that setup that they have going. And I mean, the same thing happened with episode 8 after The Force Awakens came out. I think about a month later, it was in January or something, they announced that that was going to be pushed back to December of this year. It was originally supposed to have come out in May. So even if, I mean, I don't know if they changed it because of the writer-director switch or not, but I feel like it would have happened anyway. That's just a really quick turnaround for that kind of huge movie. So I mean, I'm not surprised by it.
I think it also helps build anticipation a little bit, like to
I
have a
think
little bit of
so.
time. And we will have a longer stretch there with the Han Solo movie still scheduled for next May. So, with the past few years, it's been every December we've gotten Star Wars.
Right.
Next year, we'll wait from May 2018 to December 2019. But anyway, just fun fact, I guess, if the Han Solo movie stays on track there.
Right.
But moving from episode 9 to episode 8 a little bit, we've learned that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to have a cameo in The Last Jedi. So what's this about? Because there's like a whole list of names that we've heard rumored cameos here.
I feel like I really haven't heard that much about it. I mean, I believe he's playing some sort of alien.
They think he's either going to be a voiceover for an alien or a stormtrooper, which, apparently, like, they've also said Prince Harry and Prince William are going to be stormtroopers. So that would be fun. So
yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with Force Awakens. They had like Simon Pegg played the junk dealer on Jakku, and he was like completely unrecognizable in his alien getup. And Daniel Craig was supposedly a stormtrooper on Starkiller Base and all that. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's going to be similar to that. But yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, a little trending story from the week. Joseph Gordon-Levitt had been involved with films that the director Rian Johnson had done previously.
That is true. He was in a Looper, which was another sci-fi film that Rian Johnson directed.
Gotcha. Well, we'll have to see. Keep our ears out, maybe our eyes. I don't know. We probably wouldn't be able to tell. But in other Star Wars news, there's an update about the Disney streaming service that's coming out versus Netflix. And when we recorded our last episode, we were under the impression that anything Star Wars and Marvel would stay on Netflix, whereas, anything Disney or Pixar would be moving to this new service. But now, apparently Bob Iger has said that Star Wars and Marvel are leaving too, which I think is a bigger deal for, the Marvel shows that Netflix does. But I don't have Netflix, so this isn't going to affect me. Is it going to affect you?
I don't know. I mean, have they said that the Netflix original shows for Marvel are moving as well?
They haven't really said that.
I feel like that would be the biggest deal to me. So I'll be interested to hear kind of what's going to go down with that. But as far as everything else, as far as the movies, again, I own most of them. I don't really watch them on Netflix much, so I can't say that it would affect me personally, but I know that they're very popular with a lot of other people out there who would rather just stream it than buy it. So
okay, and the last order of business we have to discuss with Star Wars today is Force Friday, which I know you enjoy participating in and spending money on.
Of course.
Now, this was Force Friday 2 this year. And it all went down September 1st. So, Katie, explain what it's all about and why it takes all your money.
So Force Friday is when stores debut all of the new merchandise for the upcoming Star Wars movie. So they did that with Force Awakens. They had Rogue Friday last year for Rogue One. And then, of course, this year they were debuting all of the new products to go along with The Last Jedi. So, it's action figures, costumes, Legos, I mean, just all kinds of stuff. I mean, and with technology now, there's all sorts of crazy toys that weren't around when I was little, when the prequels were coming out. So you've got like X-wing drones and remote control things, and just a lot of really fun stuff. Stores like Toys R Us and Target and Walmart all opened at midnight on September 1st, and they were doing like giveaways, and you could be the first to get your hands on whatever you wanted to get. So of course I did that. So yeah, I mean, I bought a few things. I didn't buy a ton of things.
Oh, please. What'd you buy?
I just got a couple of action figures from Toys R Us. I got the Rey figure that I wanted, so it was very exciting. And the next morning I went to Disney Store. Actually, they opened a little bit earlier than usual because they were doing like a poster giveaway. So I went there and I got a little figurine set of all the characters from the movie and a little porg, which are of course the cute little aliens from Well, Target at midnight. I went to Target after I went to Toys R Us, and they were actually raffling off 4-foot tall porg plushies. It was insane.
Wow.
So obviously, I did not win one, but that's probably
Did you try to win one?
I mean, I entered the raffle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why not? Why not?
I tried. I was there.
Yeah.
So.
And also I guess it's like the dark version of BB-8 that they were talking about.
Yeah, the fun thing with all these new toys is that you get to start to see more images and more details about new characters from the movie. So one of those, I believe it's called BB-9E or 8E.
Okay.
It's one of those. But yeah, it's another like ball droid like BB-8, but it's bad. So so it's a first order product, I guess. So yeah, we got to see that. Spiro, who released the app controlled BB-8 when Force Awakens came out, they came out with one of those to go along with it, as well as a little R2-D2, which looks fantastic.
Nice.
But yeah.
Well, hey, I did stop by a Toys R Us because I was near one on September 1st. I did not buy anything, but I just wanted to see, and I had some time to kill. And one thing, though, that I noticed, and I can't give you the price on all these things right now from memory, but when I was a kid, I bought all of the Star Wars toys. Like, we would go to Walmart every week. I would buy my parents, and I say me, I mean my parents would buy me a new Star Wars toy, and I'm like, I know these things didn't cost this much when I was a kid because my parents would not have been buying me these every time we went to Walmart. So inflation or something has happened.
I mean, I think like the regular action figures, not like the special Black Series ones and all that they have now, but the regular ones have maybe gone up like $1 or $2. Because same with me. We'd go to like Target every week, and every week my brother and I would get a new Star Wars action figure until we just have a bin full of them. So yeah, a little bit more pricey, but yeah, it's still fun to get one every once in a while. Of course.
Now my nephew has them all, but anyway, so. Well, did you want them, Katie? I'm sorry.
Maybe. I have my bin of action figures right over here in the closet. So,
I mean, I kept them for a very long time, but this past year I gave him all of my toys, or most all of my Star Wars toys. Sorry, I should have checked with you first.
It's okay.
Okay. Moving on to Disney Parks news now, and that brings us first to Hurricane Irma. So, and first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who was impacted. I have family in Central Florida, and I feel like I know so many people there just from Disney, but what a scary weekend September 9th and 10th was for them. I know the Orlando area was not damaged nearly as bad as like the Florida Keys and the Caribbean, where there were so many lives lost and homes destroyed. But a Category 5 hurricane is, no joke, and thankfully it weakened in category as it continued to make landfall. And as for Walt Disney World, this was the 5th time in its 45-year history that the resort completely closed. 3 of those times prior were for hurricanes, the other being for 9/11. So the park started to close actually on the Saturday night, the 9th, and remain closed through Monday, the 11th. And from what I saw on social media, Disney like totally went all out. Like not only to make guests feel safe, but to, keep making magic while they were all stuck in their hotels. I saw pictures and videos where guests were interacting with characters in the hotels, and the characters were out playing arcade games and watching movies. So, cast members definitely stepped up to the plate there. Damage wise to the parks, from what I read, it seemed like it was mainly trees down in places, both at the resorts and at the parks. And that, had just caused a few rides and attractions to be closed temporarily, like Jungle Cruise was one of those. And also, from what I understand, not too much flooding or any power outages, mainly just, again, uprooted trees, especially at Animal Kingdom. But, the main thing, though, is that everyone stayed safe there. And I don't know about you, Katie, but I was definitely glued to the news last weekend and social media, just watching everything unfold, and, scary stuff for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, I have most of my family is down in Florida and Central Florida and in the Tampa Bay area, so it was definitely a bit, nerve wracking as watching all that unfold and not sure if they were going to be okay or if, their property was going to make it out okay. But everybody was fine. Like you said, the storm weakened, which was a very good thing. So, yeah, I'm very glad that it was not as bad as everybody seemed to think it was going to be, and that everybody was fine.
Yeah. And my family down there is also near Tampa in the Orlando area, and it's actually my sister and her family, and they've been without power. So a week later, they're still without power and having to use a generator, but everyone's still safe, and that's the important thing. I do want to mention that the Walt Disney Company has committed to donating $2.5 million for relief efforts across Florida and the Caribbean, as well as other areas impacted by Hurricane Irma. And that is in addition to the almost $16 million the company helped raise for a relief effort following Hurricane Harvey in Houston. And that's obviously amazing. And with all that being said, again, we extend our thoughts and prayers. And we'll move on now to other parks-related news. A little more positive here and happier news, I guess. I think this is actually going to be controversial, but Hollywood Studios, where do we even start? Okay? I mean, it feels like to me we've just been waiting for a new name with this park, especially now that the studio aspect and the behind-the-scenes element of things is mostly gone from Hollywood Studios. But there is official evidence now, thanks to a guest survey that has made its way online with a list of possible names. Now, I texted you this list as soon as I saw it, Katie, and I'm just going to read down the list and we'll go back and talk about each one. But for now, you could just kind of give me like a quick little reaction as I go down the list here. So let's do this, okay?
Okay.
All right. So the first name is the current name, Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, Disney Kaleidoscope Park.
Which is the worst one ever. I mean, what does that even? No.
Disney Hyperia Park. Disney Beyond Park. Disney Cinemagic Park. Disney Legends Park. Disney XL Park. And last but not least, Disney Cinemagine Park. Okay, that's our list of options. And no, none of them. The only one that stood out to me that I thought kind of made sense was Disney Cinemagic Park. But Cinemagic does not sound like a name worthy enough to be the name of a park. Like,
right.
No.
Well, and it still like calls back to this whole,
movie thing.
Film and movie thing. So it's like, well, if you're going to go with that, why not just keep it at Hollywood
I don't
Studios.
know.
I mean, and Kaleidoscope Park. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that just gives them an excuse to make it a hodgepodge of whatever
exactly.
they want and have absolutely no theming.
Yeah. I mean, the idea here is that they're supposed to, or what I understand is it's supposed to be, we're no longer behind the scenes in the movies, we're in the movies. And it's like, what? None of these names, like.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say any of those names really, bring that to mind. I mean, that idea kind of makes sense, especially with Toy Story Land and Star Wars Land opening, and those are going to, kind of be really immersing you into the universe of those films. So I could see where they're going with that kind of, but yeah, none of those names really do it for me.
Hyperia, Beyond
Beyond
Disney,
what?
Beyond Disney, like talking about like Star Wars and Toy Story being Pixar and Star Wars, but there's no Marvel. I don't know. Legends Park. There's like one little section of the park where they have like the busts heads, of Disney legends and like Hollywood legends. But no, that's not a big enough factor. Disney XL Park, it's not the biggest park there. That would be Animal Kingdom, so that doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
And then the Cinemagine is about the same as Cinemagic. It's just, I don't know. So I would say the Cinemagic, or just go with the current name of Hollywood Studios. Just
I
leave it there.
just leave it for now. If those are your options. I mean, I feel like they need to come up with more of a cohesive vision for the park first, and I just don't really feel like that's happening, even though there's like so much development and everything going on over there. I just still don't really feel like I know what's happening.
No, we don't.
No.
But those names, though, come on, Disney. I think we can do better.
Oh, we can definitely do better. Yeah.
So, Kaleidoscope Park. Give me a break. Okay. Staying on the subject of Hollywood Studios now, did you see the video of the Slinky Dog coaster being driven into the park?
I don't think
Hollywood Studios.
I didn't watch the video of it, but I saw pictures of it being taken in there.
Well, it was funny. It was funny because the pictures started popping up on social media by just, guests or whoever. And they were like, they're just driving this thing right into the front entrance of the park. And everybody was like, really? Because like Disney's usually kind of secretive with this stuff. But they were actually making a video. And they posted the video, get this, on National Slinky Day on social media. So just some promo and like, marketing there. But yeah, they actually it was kind of a continuation, I felt like, of the video we saw at D23 for the Parks panel, where the characters of Toy Story were like keeping an eye on the progress of Toy Story Land and that sort of thing. So they're just kind of continuing on with that. It was a cute video. The Slinky Dog Dash is the name of the ride. I'm excited for Toy Story Land, but I just thought it was so funny how it was like everybody was kind of making fun of it driving right into the park, and then it was like, oh, gotcha, it's a video. So, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. I was like, I should have known they were doing some marketing there.
I mean, it's still kind of funny, but
yeah. Okay, also funny, and also finally in Parks News, and this relates to Epcot, because when we talked about Ellen's Energy Adventure closing, we were wondering if Ellen would say anything about it. And now that she's back for her talk show's new season, she has. And she talked about it on her show, and she was jokingly not happy about it closing, and she wants to know where the animatronic of herself is located because she wants it. And I mean, I was cracking up at this. Did you check out that video?
Yeah. Yes. And she also referenced like how like out of date it was, and like
She
How
was like, Guardians of the Galaxy, hashtag boring. I was
right.
like, oh my gosh. And she was like, hashtag educational. Oh no. And the funny thing is she made political references because she was like, she started off, she was like, I don't know if you've heard that they were taking down monuments or something. And I was like,
Oh
oh my
yeah.
goodness, Ellen. It was too funny. Oh my goodness. So it's a really great clip, and she did that on her show. But I love that she actually talked about it, and because it was an old ride, so you would think
Right.
maybe she wasn't thinking about it, and that's what we said on our other episode. But nope, she was paying attention, or she heard about it.
I mean, I feel like she's probably pretty tight with Disney,
Right,
so
of course.
you
But
know.
let's get her animatronic back, Disney. I want to see
Yeah.
that happen now.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, the video though, too funny. Go check it out. Well, in Disney movie news today, we want to remember legendary Disney animator and Imagineer Xavier Atencio, also well known as X, and he passed away on September 10th at 98 years old. And what a legacy, though. Some of his work includes the scripting of rides like Pirates of the Caribbean and The Haunted Mansion. So he also wrote the lyrics to Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life, and Grim Grinning Ghosts. He worked on films like Pinocchio, Fantasia, The Parent Trap, and Mary Poppins. And like I said, he was 98 years old. But Katie, this comes right after the death of Marty Sklar, and that's another Disney legend we've lost who worked closely with Walt.
I think you pretty much nailed, his main contributions, but they're huge. I mean, he's probably most known for, I guess, writing the Pirates Ride and writing the song for it. But I think that really influenced the way that Disney kind of tackled all of their rides, especially the dark rides, after that in terms of storytelling. So I mean, I think that's very important, and we probably wouldn't have a lot of rides, or at least the rides in the way that we know them without him. Really like bringing more to it than just it's just an attraction that you sit in and you look at stuff. Like there's a story that you go through and that you're a part of.
Sure.
So I think that's very, very important.
Right. Yeah. Well, again, 98 years old, and what a career, what a legacy. Rest in peace, of course. And again, that was Disney legend X Atencio there. And transitioning into some lighter movie news here, there is a new trailer for Disney Pixar's Coco, along with a few clips of the film's music that have been released. Did you see those by chance, Katie?
I don't think I saw the music clips. Is the trailer the one with the dog? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I think,
Okay.
yeah, it does have the dog in it.
Okay.
But
I don't know.
it was released
Well,
like this past week.
Okay. Well, I got the Lion King on Blu-ray, which I know you're going to talk about, but one of the previews on there was not so much a trailer as more of like a film clip from Coco following the boy's dog. I think he's chasing a bone that I was watching. I was like, oh, I haven't seen this before.
Yeah.
This is fun.
I really, though, with this new trailer, I didn't feel like we got a whole, like, we saw new stuff, but I still don't feel like we know exactly what's going to happen and that kind of thing. But we never
Yeah.
do with Pixar films, really.
Right.
I mean, you think about Up, for example. We had no idea Up was going to have, like, an emotional heartstring, at the very beginning. So Pixar's always really secretive with their stuff. So there's that. But it still looks really cool. I know that I was actually talking to my friend Cece, and she is, she grew up for a little while in Mexico, and she was very much like on the fence about this because she thinks it looks too much like that other movie. Help me come with the name.
Yeah, is it Book of the Dead?
No. Book of Life.
Book of Life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was like, I loved that movie. And this looks
Yeah.
like the same thing. I was like, okay, well, I didn't see that movie. But
I think
anyway.
I mentioned that before. I haven't seen the movie either, but I know there were like a lot of people who were kind of, I don't know if I'd say in an uproar, but kind of upset that it was so similar. And of course, the Pixar movie is going to be the one that gets more attention.
Right, yeah. The songs, though, they are in Spanish, obviously, or if you weren't aware of that, I guess. I think they were all in Spanish, which, really not the worst time for that to come out, with the song of the year kind of being Despacito. So it's like, yeah, I guess, but...
I mean, I actually listen to Latin music fairly often. I like it. So I mean, I think that's awesome that if they're incorporating the language and not having everybody speak English
Right.
all of the time. That would be nice.
I can do some Shakira every once in a while, so
My goodness.
Okay. But hey, Coco is coming out on November 22nd of this year. At the top of the show, speaking of release dates, we talked about Star Wars Episode 9 getting a new date, moving from May to December of 2019. But along with that, we learned recently about a few other Disney release dates too. So the live-action Aladdin will now be opening on May 24th, 2019. So it's kind of jumping into that place of Star Wars Episode 9. We also found out about a Christopher Robin film starring Ewan McGregor, and that's going to be out August 3rd, 2018. That's next August. And then there's an Artemis Fowl movie directed by Kenneth Branagh that's opening on my birthday, August 9th, 2019. And then the other one that was announced, I guess, was a female Santa Claus movie called Nicole, starring Anna Kendrick, That's out November 8th, 2019. So yeah, lots of information there. The Aladdin movie, did you see the cast selfie they released?
I did.
Yeah, so that's underway there, and that's exciting. But that will be coming to us now. We did not have a date for that, even at D23. So did we know about a Christopher Robin film? Because I remember I think we knew about that. I mean, I remember hearing there was going to be like a live-action Winnie the Pooh movie at one point.
I feel like we probably did, but there's also coming out a movie that's about the author, and I feel like I'm maybe getting mixed up with that. But yeah, that's coming out. I know there's a trailer out for that, so it's coming out some point soon.
It's called Goodbye Christopher Robin, and
Yes.
it's got the guy who played Bill
Donald
Weasley.
Gleason.
Yeah, Bill Weasley.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I
from
think
Harry
so.
Potter. Okay, so but that's more about A.A. Milne. More so than Christopher Robin. So we'll see what happens there. I know you're excited about Artemis Fowl on my birthday.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
2019.
I've been waiting for this like my whole life.
Yeah. I did not even know that was coming, I don't think.
I forgot about it until you mentioned it, but I remember hearing, I don't even know how long ago it was that Disney announced that they were going to be making a live action Artemis Fowl, and I was like, yes, and then I never heard anything and just forgot about it. And it's been that way for like years now because those books were so popular, and I'd always hear like, oh, so and so is going to make an animated version or this, and it just like never happened, and I just gave up and was very sad.
Yeah. I mean, I remember those books being big in like elementary school and middle school.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's coming on my birthday, so plans for 2019. And then the female Santa Claus movie, we're not talking like Santa Claus with an E. We're just talking like Santa Claus. So it's about Santa Claus's daughter, which will be Anna Kendrick, and it's called Nicole. Get it? Like Saint Nick and then Nicole. So yeah.
So it sounds like a made-for-TV movie, honestly.
Just a little bit. Hey,
whatever.
Add that to the Hallmark lineup for sure there. But yeah, so all of that's coming. And as for some Disney home video news, Katie, I know you bought the Lion King Blu-ray. You just mentioned that. I guess I'm a little jealous because the packaging is so nice, but I could not get myself to buy it because I already have the Lion King on Blu-ray, DVD, and VHS. Okay, so I couldn't do it.
See, I realized that my parents have the Blu-ray of it, so I actually don't have one. So now I do. So that's why I bought it. But
Okay.
anyway, I got like the Target exclusive one, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, the cover's really shiny, and it actually opens up, and there's like a little storybook in there, and it came with like some other little thing. But yeah, it's nice. I watched the movie, but I haven't watched any of the special features yet, so I can't really comment on that so much. But,
Okay. I guess this is more in social media related news, but also movie, and it's fake news, Katie. It's fake news. It's the High School Musical 4 fan-made trailer, and it's amazing. This went viral a few weeks ago, and my goodness, whoever put this together, like they took clips from movies that like Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale, the whole cast, or the main cast there, had been in, and somehow made it look as if this was all one movie. Really weird how they did it. They also put a little bit of music from where Ashley Tisdale and Lucas Grabeel had covered What I've Been Looking For on her YouTube channel, and it was kind of a slowed down version, and it sounded brand new, and so it's like, what? So whoever did this, I mean, hats off to you, because Ashley Tisdale tweeted about this.
I was going to say, I saw that she shared it.
Yeah, Kenny Ortega, the director, even put a thing out about this. So it's really good. Like, I want that to be real.
It's the High School Musical 4 that we really want.
I know it is, because this new one that they're really making. So, and last but not least today, Katie, we have to talk about the new Mickey Mouse Club Disney is giving us. Now, I guess to make it sound different and maybe cooler, they're calling it Club Mickey Mouse this time, and it's all done through videos that are shared on Facebook and Instagram and just, all the social places. And there are 18 Mouseketeers in this group. They sing, they dance, and they do social media. And this is a thing. This is a thing. Why is it a thing? I don't know.
I saw it pop up on my Instagram, and I was like, what? What? And I started watching the video, which was just them singing the song.
Yeah, the remix.
Like, this is, yeah.
Yeah. I thought the dancing was pretty good, obviously. So there, I don't really care for the remix of the song, but maybe that's just me. And this is not in our age group of demographic, of course. So there's that factor. But I don't know. I wouldn't say that this is necessarily it's not hurting the reputation or the legacy of the Mickey Mouse Club necessarily, because the show has always evolved. Actually, I read, D23 posted an article, and it was like the history of the Mickey Mouse Club. And I read that before it was even a TV show, it was a thing where kids across the country, and this was like in the 1920s or the 30s, they went to movie theaters and they were a part of this club, and they got to watch Mickey Mouse cartoons on Saturdays. So, I mean, how cool was that? But then, of course, the TV show started in 1955, and that was on ABC, and you had stars like Annette Funicello and just notable figures there from that time period, and that was until 1959, I think. So it ran there for a few years, and then it came back in the 70s. And if you look on that D23 article, it's so funny to see it looks so 70s. I mean, whoa, flower power. But then closer to our generation, and I don't remember this on Disney Channel because I wasn't even born, but in the early 90s, they had it was called the all new Mickey Mouse Club. And also each time they've changed the name. So that's another thing that I noticed. It was it was originally the Mickey Mouse Club, and then it was the new Mickey Mouse Club, and then the all new Mickey Mouse Club. And they also called it MMC for the whole 90s era of it. And that's when you had Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera and Ryan Gosling and all those people that went on to become big names as well. So, but now here we are, it's 2017, and these kids have got to watch this on social media, of course. I'm also kind of do kids that young watch social media or have social media? I guess. I mean, my nieces and nephew watch YouTube, but
I mean, I don't think that they should have social media,
right?
But they probably do. So, yeah, I feel kind of weird about that.
I feel old.
I was kind of surprised. I know. I was kind of surprised that they wouldn't just show it on Disney Channel.
Yeah. But it could at least be a Movie Surfers kind of series that plays during the commercials.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. But the thing that really just bothered me, and this is a note I have, is the fact that they are using a lot of vertical videos here. And if you know what I'm talking about, it's like when you have your phone recording and you're holding up your phone vertically. And so your videos, it's like Snapchat. And that's what they're going for. But if you turn your phone horizontal, it will fit the screen. And this is like so annoying because Disney Channel is even doing this on their like commercials, as I was just talking about. And it's so annoying because then you have the blurs to the side. And I get it. You see it
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time on the news. Like there's some cases where it's, you have to use it, but I know they're purposely doing that. So, and it looks, I hate it. And oh gosh, it's so bad. So, ugh. Oh, Todrick Hall was on there though. That's another note I have.
Okay, I did see
Love
that. Yeah.
him. Love him. He was kind of their mentor for the first week. Big fan of his. And fun fact, he came to my school and did a concert one time, and that was so exciting. And then the other note I have here about this whole thing is just a question of whether or not kids these days are numb to what good entertainment is. Like anything to them is good, I guess. Like these are the kids who love Descendants, okay? So it's not that hard, right? So something like the Mickey Mouse Club must be just amazing to them, or Club Mickey Mouse rather. So any thoughts on that?
It's just amazing like how social media has changed entertainment so much. I mean, even, obviously here they're using it as, the medium to, get everything out there, but even just when you're watching a show or a movie and it becomes like such a huge part of the plot, it's just very weird. And I feel like that's why so many popular things nowadays are set in like the 80s where like they didn't have all of that, and it's just easier to like have like some mystery and more sense of real excitement, because people can't go like just call people or check their phones and look things up.
You're
right
right.
away.
That's so right. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Diz Connected. Katie, as always, thanks for joining me.
And thanks for having me.
Of course. Be sure to follow mine and Katie's social media links in the description below. And for more Diz Connected content, be sure to follow at Disney_Connected on Instagram. And until next time, have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon, folks.